So today our topic is going to be volunteer work, and I think it's pretty interesting because I guess in Vietnam we get introduced to volunteer work very early on. For me, in primary school, my school introduced to us this paper drive where we got to donate our spare scraps piece of paper or our books or our notebooks that we don't use anymore to a fund to recycle them for other use. And I think that was my first instance of volunteer work. So what was your first time knowing about volunteering?
My first time was same to you. I think it's same to every kids in Vietnam. But maybe it was a little different because I also donate my clothes, my old clothes to them. Yeah.
Right, okay. So starting from that point, from a point where we're all familiar with, a point where we join in campaigns that are hosted by the school, to you now appearing on IFO, I think there must be a certain shift, a change in importance from the term volunteer work for you to be here and to be talking to us about it. So what does it mean to you personally when you hear the term volunteer work now?
So to me, volunteering is like a skill. It's not a job. It's a skill that people don't teach us. You just feel it from your heart, from your guts. And I feel that's my responsibility to help people and to help those unlucky people to have better life.
Okay, so you're taking on 9th grade soon, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so what are some volunteer work that you've joined in so far?
So I've done some charity with my parents and my school. So last TED, I went to Social Protection Center in Hanoi with Wellspring Student Council, and I also went to orphanage with my classmate last year. But with my parents, because they often go to like remote areas, so I don't have a chance to go with them. So I only can donate my clothes, my toys to them.
Okay, so I see there are, we can somewhat say 2 types of volunteer work that you do. First one, the first category is volunteer work you do in your school, and the second category is the volunteer work that you do with your parents. Now, first, speaking about joining in with your classmates, is this a picture taken with your class?
The student council.
Okay.
We went to Social Protection Center last TED.
I can see you standing there in the green hoodie, right?
In the green hoodie.
That's you. And what would you say is the general attitude that you feel other students participating in volunteer work would have?
I think they're very happy to do one meaningful thing, and as my experience that I have, they're very happy. They're very kind. I can feel like kindness through their eyes, and to the needy, I can feel like how happy they are and how excited to meet us.
Okay, so would you say that as a young person, do you think that there are many other young adults like yourself that would be interested in volunteer work like this?
I think yes, maybe there's a lot of people interested in doing voluntary works, but maybe some people they don't, because they don't see the meaning of it. They don't see what's the point of doing that. They think that they don't have any meaning to them. But it's okay because it's volunteer, like I say, it's from your heart. We can't force people to do it, right?
Yeah, I do think that's a very important point to take, like volunteering from the purpose of just for volunteering, for the sake of bringing your help to those that need it, and having this motivation that is very deep-rooted within you. And I think that would spawn from family, right? I think because you mentioned that you do volunteer work with your family also, and they also do volunteer work without you because you can't join them on trips that are far away. So what's it like when you do volunteer work with your family?
I feel like we have something to connect to connect our family member because my parents, they're pretty busy, but when we prepare for donation, everyone like we working together, we together to prepare food, clothes, and we pack things together. I think it's very fun.
It's very fun, and
Yeah.
it sounds like a part of family tradition. Does
Yeah.
your family do this often? Is it an annual thing, a monthly thing?
We usually do it once or twice a year. It depends.
Right. So, did your parents introduce you to voluntary work, and did your parents tell you about the importance of voluntary work, or is it something that you discovered yourself, that you realized that you wanted to help yourself?
So I think I realized it by myself.
Okay.
When I was a kid, maybe when I was about 5 years old, I saw a man. He sit like next to the pavement, and that was in winter. It's very cold. It was cold, and then I came with the thought that, oh, I'm very lucky to have a shelter, to have a happy family, but he was sitting out there and he was cold. He didn't have any food to eat. So yeah, since then I asked my moms, my dad to help them.
Okay, that's really cool to learn that you were the one that first arrived at the thought that you need to help other people, and that thought is then raised by your family, right? It's facilitated by your family because there are people that help you do that voluntary work.